XTool F1 Ultra PJX demo. Hi, welcome back. In this episode, I'm coming to you from the buzzing floor of the Permanent Jewelry Expo, PJX, in San Antonio, Texas, where permanent jewelry artists from around the world gathered to explore the latest in welding and customizing jewelry. I had the honor of being one of the instructors at the PJX this year, and right there was the man running the technical lab with all the latest and greatest equipment in the permanent and customized jewelry industries, Alex Warner, the technical instructor with Sunstone Engineering, the makers of the leading permanent jewelry micro-welders. In this video, Alex takes us deep into the art of engraving jewelry, using the phenomenally rated XTool F1 Ultra laser engraver to create custom designs on steel and sterling silver, and discuss the settings needed for engraving gold filled. This was not rehearsed. It was a live, hands-on session filmed right on the expo floor. Alex not only walks through the setup and techniques specific to silver, but also answers real-time questions. Whether you're curious about adding engraving to your offerings or just want to take a closer look at what the F1 Ultra can really do, you are in for a treat. Let's dive in. So we're here at the PJX, and this is Alex.
Nice to meet you.
And Alex is going to be showing us how easy it is to engrave something on sterling silver today. Okay, so
First thing that we're going to do is we're going to clear our workspace, and then we're going to be putting in whatever we're working with. If we're getting the XTool for the first time, we're going to be getting some goodies inside that we can practice with. So we can do some learning before we get to our expensive silver. So in this case,
good idea.
We're going to be using some of this to show the process of getting it ready. We're going to clear this out. Let's do this heart because that looks cute. We're going to open up the individual package, slide that out, and then we're going to put this piece right in the center where those two lasers are being seen. If we're not seeing both, we might have that cover over the laser. So make sure we remove that, and then we should see both. Now the cool thing about this is that we go into the creative software. Here on the right, we'll have a ruler with an A next to it. And if we click that, what it's going to do is it's going to visually see the distance between the two laser points, and it's going to automatically adjust the height of the laser for us so that the appropriate range is set forth when we do our laser engraving. So the light will turn off and turn back on a couple of times while it's doing this process. And once it goes out, then the light will turn back on. And we can review that it was successful up above, saying that it was successful. And we'll see that it will populate that number here in this area here. Okay. If you know the thickness of your piece, you can manually put this in as well.
So you're saying automatically it can figure out?
Yeah, so by pushing that one button, it knows that this piece is 3.3 millimeters tall. And so we're able to use that number through that automatic feature.
So any piece, and it doesn't have to be ones from the kit, it can figure out the thickness.
So same piece, I'm just going to flip this upside down so we're gaining a lot of extra height. Not going to give it any cheats. Again, the key thing here is making sure that the laser light is in the center of what you're trying to focus on. If I have it over here, it's not going to recognize as that what needs to be engraved, and it'll focus here instead of what I'm wanting to.
So, as a tester, what if it was something else? Is that possible for you to test how thick it is?
Yeah. So it's not saying necessarily how thick; it's how far away from the base.
I see. Mm-hmm. Okay.
So in some cases, this is what we're showing here is the bottom side of the cutout plate that's provided with the machine.
Yes.
And so I flipped it upside down just so that we can have convenience of moving this around without scratching it.
Okay, good. Excellent.
So the process will be the same regardless of what we're engraving.
Okay, great.
The key part is we are doing the auto adjustment, just make sure that that's in the center, and then we can move it around if we have multiple pieces.
Excellent. Okay.
So once that updates, you'll see that this number will update as well. So it's 20.7 at this point. So very cool. Additionally, and this will be lovely when you're doing your projects, right next to it, there's a little camera button. And this, I believe, is exclusive to the F1 Ultra. So it's going to take that picture and overlay it on our piece here. Now that's a little dark, so this is not ideal. So I'm going to put that back, auto set that position so we have better contrast between our pieces, and then we can utilize that a little bit better. And now it's going to take that picture for me again, because when it changes heights.
Oh wow. Okay.
So
now it's clear.
So we can have a very clear view of what we're working with. So let's say, for example, we wanted to do someone's name, right? Let's put Dana, right? If you're using the desktop app, you can use any installed font that's on the computer itself. And you can access that up here. So the library of fonts that we have access to is whatever is installed here. So if you have something that's cute and you want to do like a script style, you can download something that's either free or make sure you get the proper licensing for different fonts. But I've used Google fonts, and they'll tell you which ones are commercial use, free commercial use, the ones that are more personal. And so make sure that you're following the law as far as that's concerned. So,
excellent. Good advice.
So let's say, now since Christmas might be not the right one for us here. So let's do, that's lovely.
Thank you.
Ooh, that one's kind of nice. Let's do that one. So I can size it up and down by dragging that corner. And we use this picture not as exactly what it's going to be, but more of a get you close, right? And have the right proportions to your design. If I need to zoom in, so it makes my design work a little easier, I can use the zoom in and out on my track tab, or you can use your mouse wheel for that as well. Okay. I'm going to put that here and scale it up a little bit more. Now, right now, it's only outlined. So this is called Score in the software. And you can see what's happening with this on the right-hand side. So we're going to say, I want to engrave, which you'll see will change our Dana name into a fill Dana name. Okay. Thirdly, there's a cut, which is a stronger version of Score. So it's meant to get all the way through. This is going to be more reserved for your woods, your leather, acrylic. That's going to be more effective in its cutting. You can still cut some metal, but it's going to be pretty thin in order to do that.
Do you know offhand, within reasonable amount of time, if a PJ artist wanted to, or a metalsmith wanted to cut 1 millimeter thick, or if it's gate?
Yeah, it would. Let's say it's going to be similar to this charm here.
Okay.
Just for frame of reference.
Yes.
I would say over an hour and a half to 2 hours.
Okay. For cutting. Okay.
Assuming it can get through. So that's my big concern. 1 millimeter is really good.
Right.
In the laser cutting world. Because what happens once you get in a certain depth, as the laser comes in, it's going to hit the shoulder of this one side. And so you have to do some creative things in order to get into the canyon, if you will, that you're creating. So if they want to do more cutting options, then we can talk about larger engravers that are more designed to do that type of cutting.
Okay, this is great.
So we're going to go back to engrave because that's what we want.
Yes.
So now that we have our design and we like how it looks, now the next question I get is, well, what are the settings? How do I figure that out? If we scroll down here, there's a lot of these numbers. and it gets a little bit overwhelming. So the nice thing that I love about XTool's creative software is if you click on the top here, you can just search what you're trying to do.
Okay.
And if XTool, the company, hasn't done it themselves, the vast community has a lot of suggestions as well. So if there isn't something that's easily viewed here by scrolling, I can just type in silver, right?
Okay.
And it'll give me options that have those key tags.
Do you happen to have, is there gold filled in the standard?
So whenever I do gold fill, because the underlying layer is brass, I actually just use the brass. And my results are superb. So if we have some brass today, I would love to show you that.
Okay.
Or gold fill in this case, right? So let's go into this. Looks like it's even the shape of the heart that we're working with. And if XTool has developed the setting, we can go into this one-click set feature, which is right here. If I click that, it will blow it up. And this is their matrix of settings. And so you can say, based off of the material that was selected, I want it to look like that versus that.
Right.
And if I want that look, I can simply click it and it will change the settings below automatically so that the outcome will be what you expect.
Okay, good. That looks easy.
Yeah, so that's the beauty of it, is it's supposed to be, right? Half the challenge that I've seen when we're working with laser engravers is the software is the largest hurdle. And so this makes it significantly easier. And in later episodes or future conversations we have, Dana, we can talk about the community that has shared their project, shared their settings, that greatly widens the possibilities, and working together to have a good product. So, based off of what you see here, Dana, what would you like the outcome to look like?
Let's have something that is, well, let's go with darkest, the way you have. What are can you read for us what the power?
So the power on the x-axis is 90, which is 90% the power. And then the speed is 800 millimeters per second. And so it's going to be traveling, it's going to be fast to us, but it's going to be traveling 800 millimeters per second as it's going back and forth.
Okay.
And I'm going to show you that preview when we hit the process button. It will actually allow us to preview what the laser is going to be doing during the engraving process, so that we can preview that before we commit to it, right?
Excellent. Yes.
Now,
always do that.
This feature is going to be a grand slam for anyone who's wanting to do custom work. So let's get in really close here.
Okay.
First, we're going to look at the software. So this button right above the framing. So if we click that, it's going to come over to our piece and it's going to create a blue box.
Right.
You see that?
Yes.
So that's well and good especially if you're trying to frame it left and right, up and down, so that it's even. But maybe we want to see how it's going to actually look on the piece. So let's pop over to our software. So I'm going to stop the framing really quick, and we're going to click these 3 dots just to the right of it. And what that's going to do is it's going to give us 2 different modes here. Right now it's defaulted to rectangle or rect. If we choose outline and then hit frame again, it's actually going to outline our design. And this is true with any vector style file or font.
That is awesome.
If you zoom in, you can actually see Dana being written. So you're like, this seems a little big or a little small based off of that. And that's been very helpful when I do my designs. I
agree, because oftentimes on screen, you get a different sense versus what you see right in front of you. Exactly, so that's great. Okay.
And then if you ever need to make adjustments, you can do it by hand or you can do it in software. Depending on your dexterity and how you want to go about it, you can use the software or your hands.
So say if we wanted to rotate a little bit, how would you do that on the software?
So I click the object that I'm working with, and you can have a lot of objects being Dana the name, right, in font. And so you have each one of the boxes with this little circle right here. And so if I click and drag that, then I can rotate it.
Okay, it's similar to Canva.
Yes.
Okay.
You can also rotate it by putting a specific number there.
Right. For those of us who are not as dexterous.
Yes.
Okay.
Or if you just need to make a slight adjustment to make it perfect, right? So let's say we're in love, right?
Okay. Yes.
Oh, let me say one more thing. This is
Yes.
so nice. So if you need to make small adjustments,
Mhm.
if I have it selected and it's framing, I can use my arrow keys and I can make it go up and down slower, and it will live move that framing down.
Okay.
So I can frame it perfectly while I'm working on it. So lifesaver as far as time is concerned.
Yes.
Especially if you have customers watching you right behind you, right? You get nervous, right? We all do, right? So let's hit process, because I think I'm feeling pretty good about that. How about you?
I'm loving it.
Okay, so let's hit process. I'm going to close this.
Okay.
So it will tell us right here that we need to pull down the protective cover. So it's going to constantly remind us to do that, because this screen does filter out the light that's going to be harmful to our eyes.
Okay.
So if you can't do it for other projects that we're going to be working on, it's important that we just block it so that.
So, I guess protective glasses will not be.
Protective glasses are fine, but if people are waiting in line, right?
Absolutely.
So what I would do, say my project required it to open this far, or have your eye, I bring it down as low as I can go, and then I will have physical barriers, be it cardboard or something thick enough that the light isn't going to directly travel to my clients.
Got it.
So I just want to make sure
that's a great tip. Okay.
So in this case, we have the flexibility of having that all the way down. Now, if we come over here, it will tell us how long it's going to take. So it's going to say it's going to take 3 seconds.
That's it?
Yep.
Okay.
And I can hit this play button, and it will always start in this top left, and it will travel to where it's going to be. You can see as it's zigzagging back and forth, that's how the laser is going to handle it.
So that's a preview of what's going to happen.
Yeah, and we can speed it up. So if we don't want to watch forever how long it's going to take, we can speed it up to 20 times or 100 times.
Okay.
Depending on the size of the project, that might be relevant. So now that we've loved it, we can hit start, and that's going to be here on the top right.
Okay.
And what that's doing is saying, I have approved this, and now we can come down to our pad here, which is the final confirmation to hit start.
Okay.
So we're going to say, let's do it. Now
wow.
Lift it up.
And is that hot to the touch? And what are you doing in checking?
I'm not going to touch it. I'm just moving the laser light so we can see a little bit clearer the design.
Okay. Great.
So let's say we want to run it a second time. Well, let's just
in case you want it deeper.
Exactly.
Then you don't have to move it.
Yeah.
And
this is critical.
Do ghosting.
As soon as you touch that, you are married to that design.
Okay.
No matter how clever you think you are, you're never going to put it exactly where it was. So don't touch it until you're okay with it. So if we need to run it a second time, a third time, and so on.
Okay.
So I can hit process again. And then hit OK. Which will make me go through this process again where I hit start. So I'm going to hit it one more time.
Wow.
And then we can view it one more time. Now, we can make a lot of different choices. But let's say this is our final design that we're happy with. We can go back into our work here, select our layer here, scroll down, and passes is going to be the number of times it's going to do it before it stops. So we can say, I want to do it twice. From now on, whenever I do this
So if you're doing other production, mass production, or repeats, it'll be exact.
Same as our first person, Alex is having it second, right? Then I can just put Dana's first, and then put mine second. Assuming you're doing one at a time, right?
Right. And they will be consistent.
Enough space, you can actually do quite a few at once. So just depends on how you want to approach your work. There's a guide that comes with it. I'm not seeing it, but each one of these has an L bracket that screws into here, and so it'll help lining up your work perfectly every single time if you're doing production style work. Or if you have circular objects, it's really hard to line up just right. So I use that a lot when I'm doing a lot of different circular objects, or I want a repeated object.
This is great. Thank you so much.
Yeah, it's my pleasure. So currently, there's not a silver setting built into XTool's library of settings. I'm sure the community has selections that you can do. In fact, if you want to come in, I'll show you where you find that. So same place that you'd utilize XTool's library, there's a cute little button right here. So more XTool materials. That's going to open up a different window. And anytime you see that matrix on it, XTool developed that setting. So now, based off the machine that's connected, which is the F1 Ultra, we can say silver. See if the community has something for us. Now be careful to make sure you read, because this is acrylic.
Oh.
That has silver plating on it, right? This is stainless, silver stainless. This says just silver, but I looked in the settings, and that's also stainless. So let's say you're not sure. So let's just select it, and it'll give you a preview of that. You can also see any comments. In this case, it's probably stainless, but I see 925 silver, so we'll see. I might just have to post my settings that I just found today and just have people be happy with me. So let me hurry and do that really quick, because I've already developed it, so might as well give it to you, right? So if you come over back to our project, I'm going to hit back, and unless I'm missing something, sorry. So this is the price, how much? I'm sorry, I think I messed something up.
That's okay.
I'll just open up a new one, that's fine. Always start with focus the laser.
Okay.
If you do all your design work while it's out of focus, you have to start all over again, right? So we're going to set autofocus again, being sure that that's in the center of those two laser dots.
So autofocus. Great.
So it's working right now to figure that out. I recall it was 0.3 millimeters. So it's reading at 0.25, which is right on the cusp. So Dana, is there any...
Let's do PJX 2025.
Let's do it. So I'm going to select that text icon on the top left, and now it's always going to do something large and say hello, right? We're going to do PJX, and I like having individual lines so I can move them however I want. And so I'm going to first develop what I need for this, and then I'm going to copy it and change it to 2025.
Okay.
So let's take a picture so we know how big I need to make this design. Now, if you have a caliper and you have a known value, then you can simply just come up here and change that in millimeters.
Okay, so, but this has length and thickness and width.
So this is position X and Y, and then width and height.
Okay.
So of your design. So what I would do, since let's guesstimate just a little bit. Let's say that that's 3 millimeters wide.
Okay.
So on my width, I need to make sure that this is less than that, right? So I'm just going to do 3. If I enter, you lock the aspect ratio so it doesn't squish my design in one direction. So when I change this to 3, it will change the other value so that it's correct.
Right.
So let me zoom in just a little bit.
Okay. So I think our pendant we're working with, Jay, is about 10 millimeters wide. So that
my 3 guess was a little bit small, right?
It's pretty good, but let's go with something bigger.
Let's do 9 or 8.5.
Sure. Let's see what that looks like.
So 8.5, enter.
Okay, so that goes all the way to the edge.
That puts about a millimeter.
We don't have room for the two.
was going to put 2005 near the bottom.
Yeah.
Unless you want something different, then we can have a 2-liner, or I can make 2005 in the front.
That sounds, either one. But let's make that a little bit smaller so we have a bit more room and to be able to see the 2025.
So let's do 7.
Sounds good. Perfect.
So it's more dominant, but not still in the wiggle room that we need, right?
Yes.
So I'm seeing that. I feel like it's going to be easier for me personally to frame that out and then physically move that so that it's even.
I think that's good.
And so I can refresh that over here.
Mm-hmm.
I apologize. I need to make sure I hit stop on my framing so it utilizes that laser to know where it's at. And it'll always yell at you if you're doing something you're not supposed to. So we need to put 2025 there. So I'm going to do a Control C and a Control V. That's going to copy what we got going on.
Great.
And it has snaps, so it's going to center with
great.
The OCD, right? It brings pure joy. Now that's pretty big, right?
Mm-hmm.
So again, we're centered, but now we can just drop this down. Let's make this, 5.5. That feels all right. Yeah, center that up with PJX.
That's great.
And there we go. So now we can do a frame to make, just triple check. That's always a very good policy. Once we do a frame, if we do a framing, then we can visually tell where it is on our part and see if we're out of bounds in any direction.
Great.
I feel like we're pretty good.
That's good. Alex, can you reduce the PJX to slightly smaller, maybe 5, and see?
Yeah, I can scale them down together.
Oh, let's see
that,
how. Yeah, the portion is great.
So if the proportions are fine, then together the proportions are 7 to 5.6, 5.8. So I can go down, let's go down to 6, right?
Okay.
You can see that both of them changed down.
Great. What do you ladies think? Does that work?
I love it. That works awesome.
So
okay.
It's a little high, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to use the arrow keys and I'm going to drop that down.
Great.
You know what? I kind of like that.
I do too. Okay.
So now, what we're going to do is we're going to make sure we close that lid, because now that we've positioned everything the way we like. Now I talked about some settings that I've already developed for silver, and so I'm going to run it twice, but I'm going to use a different setting on each one of those.
Okay.
And I want to lift the lid so you can see what it looks like on both instances. So I'm going to go into user defined settings because I've already saved it. Let's pretend that you're figuring this out for the first time. This button to the right is how I would save a setting I've already put together.
Okay.
And I would name it at that point. So when I click this, I can click silver engraving and silver planing, which is the names I gave it.
Okay. So what is the difference? Now that I'm just curious.
So in this case, I'm using 100% of the power because I want to dig into it.
Okay.
Okay.
And so I use a lot of the. I mess with a couple of things. I don't know if we can get into it in this episode, but essentially what I want to do is I want to hit it hard, but I want to make sure that my lines are really crispy and I'm not overheating the piece. And so we can go through in some depths of explaining what each one of those variables do at a later time.
Okay.
So let's come in nice and tight because this is going to go really fast. So we're going to hit process. And it's going to prepare a preview and calculate the time. And it's going to be 2 seconds. So I say I love that. All right. 3, 2, 1.
Awesome.
So I'm going to lift it up. It's going to look a little dirty.
Yes.
So let me block the 2 lasers. So it looks kind of orange, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So is there anything you can do to avoid that or clean that up?
Yes. So that's why I have that second setting. So I wanted to make sure that you could see how dirty it was.
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely.
So
Looks
we're gonna drop
oxidized,
that, we're gonna
tarnished.
drop that lid.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to hit OK. And selecting that layer again that had both of our objects. And instead of laser engraving, I'm going to select silver cleaning.
Okay.
So now, the only thing that changed is I reduced the power.
Okay. So what did you reduce it from?
100.
To?
45.
Okay.
Okay.
And so now I'm going to hit process.
So just under half power.
Yeah, I just guessed
Okay.
about half. Didn't have to be exact. Because the whole goal is we just want it to scoop out all the soot.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to go fast as well, about 2 seconds.
Oh, it's magical.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, that was really satisfying to watch. That
And
was
so
really satisfying
it's
to
still a
watch.
little bit orange, right? And
Yeah,
so
but
I can
much
run it a
less.
second time.
Okay.
Right?
So would you run it lighter still, or would you just run?
I would just depending on
45?
what you see, right? So I might up the power just a little bit if I feel like if I'm not quite getting enough to scoop it out, or I can just run it a second or third time.
Okay.
Since it took 2 seconds, running it a second or third time might be more effective on your time, right?
Then having to go in and change the settings.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Really.
All right.
That's great.
Yeah, that looks wonderful.
So
I got a cute little charm.
I'm going to be a little picky.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to change it a little bit and do it again.
Okay, so how are you going to change it?
So let's come back in here.
All right.
So I'm actually going to bump up my power to about 55, so 10 more. So I'm just going to be hitting it slightly harder.
Instead of 45,
Mhm.
and
I'm changing nothing else, but I'm just going to be hitting it a little bit harder so I can scoop out some of that discoloration, because I want it to be bright.
okay, let's see.
And sometimes good is good enough, but I feel like being a little picky.
Oh wow, that was good.
That's a little better. I like that. So now that we're like, yeah, I like it, I'm going to touch it, and now it's married, right? I'm married to that design. You can see at whatever angle, I can clearly read PJX 2025.
I hope you enjoyed that. Stay tuned for my next engraving demo. I have also shared in the captions the link to the XTool F1 Ultra and wholesale information for sterling silver and gold filled engraving blanks.